Hey, there you are. Welcome back, my good friend. In this video, you know exactly what we're going to do. You've been watching. We're going to take that MOJO Strat neck and we're going to hook it all up and get it just right. And we're going to slap some MOJO into it, you know. And, well, we ain't going to waste no time getting around to that. I got a little surprise for you at the end. And after a little bit of intro music, we're going to go over to the bench. So away we go. Welcome to MOJO Shop Guitar, baby. And here we are. Remember this old neck right here? Yeah. We're going to get this all MOJO fired up. Yep. It's a little bit dirty. So the first thing we're going to do is give it a good cleaning. Ready? What we're going to do is I'm going to take some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol. And I put it on a rag. That rag. We're going to put it on a rag, a little bit on there like that. We're just basically going to go over everything. Get all the stuff off the fingerboard here. You see it's already starting to get dirty. And one of the reasons that I use rubbing alcohol is that it cuts through all the grease and stuff real easily. And it evaporates quickly so that it doesn't have time to soak into the wood and everything like that and make the wood all soft or anything like that. This has got quite a bit of schmutz on it. So we're going to give it a good scrub, alright? We're going to wipe down the back, all these sides. And we'll even get the part where we've already went ahead and sanded her on down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little nylon brush right here. And we're just going to sort of dip it in that alcohol right here. And I'm going to scrub off this nut right here. Right all in this area real good. I'm going to get all the little stuff in between, up against there, and then I'm going to just sort of move on down the fretboard here, getting right up against all these frets here. Just going to go like this, get some alcohol on there, and then we'll go back and forth. And then we're going to go back over and wipe it all off while it's still a little bit wet. We want to go this way and kind of hug those frets a little bit. Alrighty, I'm going to get down here. Once again, we'll wipe it on down. Yeah, buddy, you can see that's getting a lot of dirt off there. Wiping off those years and years of pawn shop dust and grimy fingers. You know, this really is it's a beautiful fretboard. It's got lots of nice color and you know, figuring in it and stuff like that. It looks really nice. And basically what we're going to do here is I used a clean spot of the rag, and I'm going to go over it until I think I'm not getting any more dirt off there. Because when we go on this, and the reason we get all this dirt off here to begin with is because we don't want to grind dirt into the guitar, you know, the grease and oil and stuff like that. It'll it just don't work out right. All right, and we got up here by the nut, real nice. Okay. Now we're gonna go to a clean spot on the rag once more. With a little bit more alcohol, we're just gonna go over the whole thing one more time, the whole stinking thing. Make sure we get the end down here. Oh yeah. All right. I think we got it nice and clean now. And you can kind of see that there's really no more spots on this. It has a nice even shine to the whole thing. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to level these frets. Make sure these frets are all level. And how we're going to go about that is I have a straight edge here that I made. But this edge right here is nice and straight. And we got some notches in this one side. But we're not going to use the notch side. We're just going to use the flat side this time. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get my feeler gauge. So I did that right here. And my feeler gauge. Now this feeler gauge right here, this little piece of metal, is paper thin. It's the thinnest feeler gauge that I have in the set. And what we're going to do is we are going to set this on here like this. And we're going to go along here and we're going to measure how much of a gap is in between each one of these little frets right here. And we're going to move this back and forth, and we're going to kind of do that all the way across so that we know exactly where we are and what's it's looking like. We want to get it nice and perfectly flat with this across the top of those frets so that we can give them a little bit of a leveling, and then we can crown them and polish them. Anyway, so what we're going to do first here is we're just going to kind of set this. I don't know what kind of angle do I need to get on this. Let me see here. And I guess we'll work from this side. What we're going to do is we're going to set this right here, and we're just going to kind of go in between there. And see, that slides under, that slides under. So down here at this end, it's hitting, but over here through the middle, as you can see. Yep. So we're a little bit low in the middle. So we're going to take our handy dandy truss rod adjusting tool here, and we are going to tighten this just a little bit, and tightening it is going to flatten it out some. So we're just going to give it just a little bit, okay? Tightening it is going to make it bow back this way. So we're taking that little valley out of there. Now we're going to go across here one more time. We do that one more time. Hitting, and it slides under a little. Just a little, just a little. Yeah, a little bit low there. Let's try it down here. That's hitting. That's sticking in there. It goes under there barely. And you know, we're not trying to make it so it doesn't go under there, but we just want it to be where you can stick it in there and you can just feel a little bit of drag maybe. On the ends, it should be touching, pretty much touching. So we still have just a little bit in the middle there. So I want to get it perfectly flat so that when you go across here, it feels the same at every last spot. So we're going to tighten that up just a little bit more, just like that. And then once we figure we got it flat, we will go ahead and do that all over. Touching. See, it's still slipping underneath there just a little bit. Yeah, still just a little bit loose in the middle. So we will give it just a little bit more of a tightening. And sometimes when you tighten your truss rod, it takes a minute for it to adjust. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll kind of just bend it in the direction that you want it to go a little bit, help the wood just a little bit. Okay. And let's give it see what she's doing now. Still just a little bit low in the middle. So we'll give it just a little bit more tightening. Give it another little thing right there. Let's see how this looks. We want to make sure that we're not sitting the straight edge on the nut. That feels pretty good, but I'm just going to go just one little bit more. Alright, now let's try that. And I want to try to hold the straight edge at a right angle to the it's still just a little tiny bit low in the middle, so I'm just going to sort of give it a little help there. Just massaging it a little bit, and then maybe we'll just give it another little bit of a turn. Right there. I think I'm getting about the end of the where it's going anyways. Alright, let's give one more whirl. That looks pretty good right there. Okay, now we're going to try it down here. Let's try it again down here. Yep, I think that's good right there. Yep, I think that's good right there. Okay, we got it nice and flat. Now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go over this. I noticed that on the wood here, on the wood of the fretboard is a little bit, there's some scratches in it and stuff from fingernails and junk like that. And now that we got it clean, I'm just going to take this little bit of 400 grit sandpaper on this popsicle stick that I, double-sided tape on the back of this popsicle stick, and we're just going to kind of go over this real nice and easy. Just give it a little bit, and I want to kind of make sure that I stay with the radius and everything, but we're just going to sort of sand it a little bit till I can see that it's cutting all the way across there. Just give it a little bit, and when our sandpaper gets full, we can just sort of wipe it off on the rag, and that cleans it right off. That looks pretty good. We'll just move on to the next one. Flip my stick over. Now, if you're watching for the first time, welcome to the channel. We appreciate it. And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe and push that notification button and stuff like that, because I really, really do appreciate it. It helps me out. I'm just getting started here, and I'm trying to give people some good quality information and show them how that they can go out and, do this themselves, go get a guitar. But, yeah, if there's anything that you'd like to see, anything special you'd like me to show you, please drop me a line in the comments down below there. Down there. And, I'll be sure I get back to you, and we'll make any kind of shows you guys want me to do. As long as it isn't with the guitars. Okay. I'm going to wipe this off just a little bit with the old alcohol rag. Yeah, see that? Now that's looking a bit better. And see what's that's doing is it's, if you can feel this here, and then feel this when I'm done, it's way smoother. And what it's going to do, it's going to feel smoother when you bend a string. It's going to feel way smoother and nicer. And I'm making sure that I get down here on this bottom side. This is going to be where the thin string, where the little E string is, and that one's, I want to make sure that I get right along in there too. And I'm not trying to roll the edge or anything yet. I'm just trying to get the little bit of, smooth out that fretboard a little bit. Everybody likes a smooth fretboard. Yep. You know, this isn't some kind of special skill that I have here. You know, this is just something I've been doing for quite a while now, and it's just it's real easy to do. Anybody can do it. I'm showing you guys how to do it. All these tools and stuff that I have, I got a Harbor Freight, you know, made. You know, doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all. Go on out to the pawn shop. Go on out to your local. You know, get on Craigslist. You know, go to a rummage sale. Go someplace, find yourself a little guitar, bring it on home, show it some love, give it a good home. If you don't know how to play, you know, that shouldn't stop you either, because there's just tons of places on YouTube that can give you some really good advice on how to play guitar. But, you know, one of the most important things, you know, to playing guitar is when you start off, you want to have something that's decent to play, you know? You don't want to have some piece of junk. You want to have something nice. Alright, what is that? I need, let's see here. What do I do with the other sandpaper? More sandpaper, please. Where did I put it? Okay, we're just going to use a piece of this right here. Just need a little piece. And we're just kind of smoothing this out a little bit. Just want a little something to get in that middle. The middle wasn't coming out right. Get it nice and smooth so the action is nice and smooth. Because really this neck is the most important part of the guitar. And so right here, this little one here. Yeah, we're just using a little bit of 400 grit sandpaper on this right here. Nothing too aggressive. You know, on the back of a little popsicle stick, getting in between there, make that nice and smooth. And take a bend, nice and smooth. And if you would like to own one of these guitars, you know, you can, and we're gonna have them for sale. And this one is gonna be for sale at the final video for this one, which we are going to finish the neck, and then we are going to assemble it and set it all up and stuff like that. So we got this video, the next video, and then after that we're gonna present it and it's gonna be up for sale. But if you're interested in it right now, you know, if you're interested in owning this, you can go to my home page there on YouTube, and I got my email address. You can just drop me a little email and I'll be happy to get back with you. But I want to kind of wait till we do the presentation, because, man, it's gonna be fabulous, and I want, you know, want it all to come together, you know, like one of them A-team plans. You know, I love when a plan comes together. Get right down here to the end, and just go back and kind of get any places that doesn't look like it got hit. Alright, I think I'll get this little heel just a little bit too. And we'll get right up against that. Alrighty, let's give it a little wash. We'll wipe her down a little bit. Wipe her down. Alrighty. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to crown these frets. We're going to go ahead and level this out. We got it nice and level now. And we're going to take the good old felt marker here. And we're just going to go right over the top of these, and I'm going to be really careful not to get any on the fretboard. But if I do get some on the fretboard, it's no big deal because it'll come right off. Okay. And this is very important that we're putting this marker on the top of here, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the crowning tool, which is basically just a little file, a V-shaped file. Oh, look, I got a little on there. It's a V-shaped file, and it's going to leave a little tiny streak of black. I'm going to file off all this other black from the frets, and it's going to leave just a little tiny spot, a little tiny strip right across the top of it, and that's what I want. Duh. I'm getting ready to level it next, not crown it. All right. Let me re-say that part there. I'm putting this across the top here so that when we level it, when we go across and level, we can see what we're taking off and what is still high and what's still low, basically. If it doesn't take it off, if it doesn't take off the black off the top of the fret, you know, then it's low. So we got to keep going until we take all the black off the frets, off the top of the frets. All right, there we go, right there. Now this is my my leveling beam right here. It is basically a level that I got at Harbor Freight, and I cut the ends of it off, and I double-sided tape a piece of 600 across the top here. So we're going to take this piece of 600, and this is perfectly flat across here. And we're just going to take this and we're going to set it on here. We're just basically going to go back and forth. And I'm going to try I'm not putting hardly any pressure on it, just go back and forth. And we're going to go back and forth over this right here. Okay. And I can kind of feel it kind of bumpy, you know? And I don't like that. That's not the way it's supposed to be. By the time we get done, this is going to be going across here nice and smooth. Okay, now we went across that, and we'll take a look and see how we're doing here. Well, as you can see right here, we've taken some off of here. This one here's got a little bit off it. I'm working right here, working right here. This one here is totally low all the way across, so it's a little bit low in the middle, right through there, right there. And then as we get towards the end here, we're cutting a little bit more. So we're going to keep working this middle here, and we're going to keep working this back and forth. And we want to make sure that we go the whole length, and I'm just sort of holding this in the middle. I want it to have a nice even all the way across. You just take your time. This is something that you do not want to rush. You just want to kind of massage. Alright, we're going to keep going. Camera shut off on me. Okay, well, we keep leveling this. Get this right down here, nice and even. Okay, let's take a look here. See how we're doing. Well, looks like this first one here, we're getting cut across the top of there. You can see that there's still a little bit of indentation in this fret right here. This one's getting some cut. And we still got a little bit of work to do in the middle here. But we're getting there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that truss rod just a little bit more oomph right there, just to kind of raise that middle up a little bit. Okay? And we'll go back to cut and see if that makes any difference. And I'm getting just a little bit more aggressive with it, you know, pressing a little bit harder. And now I'm going to grab down on this end. And we're just going to kind of work this end a little bit. And then I'll apply pressure across this part. And maybe I'll work up here a little bit. You can kind of hear that cutting. Alright, let's check out and see how we're doing here. Well, We're cutting pretty good all the way. Let's go back to it. I guess I'm recording. I don't know what's going on here. Looks like I got some editing to do. Alright, well, we're going to continue as long as my camera continues to film here. But anyways, we're getting this all nice. This piece of 600 takes a little bit to cut through there, but I don't want to cut too fast. You know, I just want to do it nice and easy. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the edge here too. I'm trying to make this go over the edge a little bit. Just it helps to knock off the crowns on the, or knock off the tops of those frets on the end there. It smooths that all off real nice. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. Looks like we got pretty much, we still got a little bit to go. Still got a little bit to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around here. And we're going to take the rag after it. Kind of clean it up a little bit. And we'll go over it this way. Now, I'm going to go this way with it, just back and forth a little bit like this. I like to do this because I'm putting scratches in it this way. Now I'm going to go put scratches in it this way, because if you watched the last video, that's what we did to the body. And it just sort of makes a nice level surface. Alright, now we're going to go one more time just over the top here. And see, I can feel that this is going a lot smoother across here than it was before. Alright, let's take a look, see how we're doing here. Oh, looks like we got pretty much all the way across there. There's still some lowness right in here. And we're going to have to keep working that a little bit. Maybe I will give this just a little bit of a more of a right through there. Okay. But we're going to keep on going. We're getting there. Oh yeah, she's starting to get there. I got just a couple more spots to get. This is, the fretboard is going to be so nice and level. And the reason that we're doing this is that so you don't get any buzzing, you don't get any kind of funky noises. And every note on this fretboard, every stinking note on every string is going to play absolutely true to pitch. Not going to be any flats or sharps or nothing like that, unless it's a flat or sharp note to begin with, you know what I mean. But yeah, every note's going to play absolutely dead on. You're going to put your tuner on there, and every stinking note that we're going to play on this note, when we will do that, we'll go over this whole fretboard after we get it all set up and make sure that every note plays perfectly, and we will not stop until every note plays perfectly true to pitch. Well, what do you think? Got just a little bit more to go right through here. But it's getting there. And then once I get going, get it all done this way, then I'm just going to go back and forth this way one more time. Just like that there. Alright, let's see what we got here. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Alrighty. Alrighty, I'm going to turn the camera off and we're going to go to the next step and be right back. Alright, we're back. And the next thing that we're going to do here is we got this all leveled off real nice. It's perfectly level. fact, we're even going to check it one more time, just to make sure. Yep, every last one of those hits just exactly the same. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this marker and we're going to go back over it one more time. And we're going to do what we said we were going to do when I explained it the first time. Now we're going to take the fret file and we're going to go ahead and put a nice little crown on these. Now that we've leveled them, we've made this nice and flat across there, where the top of the fret is flat. And that doesn't really do all that well with the string. You know, when you're playing the note, you want more of a nice little crisp little point on the top of that fret. And that's what we're about ready to do here with the fret file. And one more. And there we go. Alright. Now here's the fret file. And it has 3 different sides on it. This is not exactly the best one, but it has a narrow and medium and then a... Alright, we're back. And anyway, I'll take this fret file here, and that's my narrowest setting right there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over the top of these frets, and we're just going to give them a nice little crowning. See? Real nice and easy. I'm going to try to hold that nice and square to the fret. And we're just going to kind of go by feel here. We're just kind of going over it until we feel it smooth out. That's what we want. We want it to be nice and smooth. And I'm kind of letting it hit the ends. So I'm going to kind of round those over a little bit too. I don't want any ends that are sticking up or anything like that. Just take the chunk out right here. Yep, make them frets, get them just right. You know, a lot of this stuff that I'm doing right here, I learned from good old Sam Deeks over there in England. He's the master. That guy, he knows everything. And you know, it's a beautiful thing that there's guys like him out in the world that will take the time to show you how to do this stuff. And you know, I don't do everything just exactly like Sam does it, but you know, the information that I've gotten from him has been invaluable. In fact, the information that I've gotten from a lot of people has been invaluable. My life, YouTube has changed my life, let's put it that way. It is a beautiful thing. I don't know if you can hear it, but as I'm doing these, you hear some cutting, and then it changes its tone and kind of gets smooth. Just like playing some music, you know, sometimes it's listening that is what you want to do. Oh man, she's feeling the love, ain't she? Yeah, buddy. Yep, this guitar's going to have a chance. You know? And I've kind of come to the realization that, you know, I need to speed this whole process up. I'm not going to be able to save enough guitars. I need to save some more guitars. You know? So I gotta get busy, and I also gotta encourage people to go out and do this themselves, you know? Go get a guitar off the shelf. Some pawn shop and fix it up, please. Do it a favor. Even if you just bring it home and clean it up and put some new strings on it. You know? It's a beautiful thing. You know, get a tuner, tune the thing up, and play it. And if there's something you don't like about it, change it. If you like everything about it, go with it. Yep, that's making a nice little line right across the top of there. Yep, and just kind of making sure that every last one of these feels nice and smooth. And that you get all the way to the end of the fret. That's why it's nice to have it out of the neck here, or out of the body, because you can kind of just sit here and you can see I'm kind of curving it as I'm doing it. Pick up this end so I get on there, because I don't, you know, I want to go ride the radius of the fret, I guess you could basically say. You know, I love doing this stuff, and you know, my life is, music has been a great thing in my life. You know, it's always been there for me. It's been there for me when I've been down. You know, it's been there for me. You know, times have been tough. It's been there for me in the good times. You know, music is something that's a beautiful thing to have in your life. It really is. And you know, my musical journey is not over yet. My musical journey has led me to YouTube and fixing up old guitars and stuff like that. And you know, since I've started doing this, my life has never been so fulfilling. You know, it's really changed things. You know, I've come a long way. You know, my brothers and I, when we were little, well, you know, when we were little, my mom, she plays keyboards, you know, she plays piano. She was always very musical. And so were my brothers and I. And, you know, we used to beat on pots and pans and, you know, pick up the broom, pretend like we're playing guitar, you know. Stuff like that. We'd sing some songs. But that was the start of our musical journey. And, you know, everybody has a story like that. And, you know, it's just, I'm just wondering where this musical journey is going to lead me next. I'll tell you one thing. Okay, now that we've gotten the sides of, or gotten this all nice and frets all filed down, I'm going to take this little piece of 600 on the back of this popsicle stick, and we're just going to kind of go over the sides of these just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just kind of hitting the sides of the fret. Not really trying to do too much to it. Just hit the sides. Yeah, you know, my brothers and I, we got a little bit older, got a few instruments, you know. They weren't much to look at, you know, a couple of acoustics, and, you know, my brothers used to have one of those, you know, Mattel electronic drum sets, you know. So we used to get down, we used to play with that, and there was a couple of guys from the neighborhood, they liked to play too. So we get together, you know, we had a little band. You know, we did a few things, you know, it wasn't much of anything. But then, you know, we got some real instruments, and found a couple other people, and we actually formed a group that was doing pretty good in our area, you know. It was called Voodoo Blue, and man, we played a lot of places around here. But one summer, our place where we practiced got robbed, got broken into, and all of our equipment got stole. And man, we were kind of out of commission after that. And the whole thing kind of just left a bad taste in our mouth, you know. And I didn't mess with music for a while after that. It took quite a while. You know, I was just newly married and was raising kids, and that seemed to be more important than, you know, fooling around trying to play some music and stuff. And, you know, 10 years later, you know, I decided that I'm going to go into a pawn shop and pick up a little guitar, you know. Maybe I'll pick it up again, you know. And I went there and bought myself a little Takamine acoustic, nice little guitar. Brought it home, put some fresh strings on it, tuned it up, and it felt good. It felt good to get playing again. And one thing led to another, you know. Got a few more guitars. Pretty soon, right back at it. But I still, this is my joy right here, doing this, getting these all nice and ready. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this little piece of 600 right here. I'm just gonna kind of go over the top of that just a little bit, one more time, just kind of go this way with it. It's real nice and easy, like, not trying to do anything at all. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I got a piece of 1500 right here, 1500, and we're going to fold that in half like that, and I'm just going to kind of curve it around my finger, and what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go over this a little bit like this, and that 1500 is just going to start to brighten that up, a little bit of a shine on it. We're going to go this way, and then we're going to go this way. Curve that because I want that to kind of get in the sides there. Yep, those musical journeys. Just got back from a little vacation this weekend. You know, I don't know if anybody has seen my hats that I wear. You know, I live in the state of Michigan. And I'll tell you one thing, there's no more beautiful place on, you know, anywhere along the shores of the Great Lakes is the most beautiful places in the world, if you ask me. You know, you go to the Great Lakes and you stand there on the beach and you'll swear you're standing in an ocean. You know, that's an ocean. I mean, you can't see the horizon. You see nothing but water. And it's fresh water too, nice and clean and fresh, not no salty stuff, you know. That's what I like about Michigan. And I am no more than an hour away, you know, from hitting that stuff, you know, going to the big lakes. And that's what we like to do a lot. Get out there and have a good time. Now I'm going back over this with some alcohol because we just got done doing all that work on it and stuff, and I wanted to get all the old junk off there, okay, before we go to this next step, okay? Alright, now we got that right there. Now, got myself a little piece of steel wool here. We're just going to kind of ball that up real good. And you know, the pores of that wood are way open and stuff like that, and we just went over it with the 1500, which smoothed everything out. Oh, that feels real nice and smooth. Now this steel wool is going to smooth stuff out even more. We're just going to kind of go over the top of this like that. Just go back and forth here. Now we're going to go over it this way. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to get the fretboard too. The steel wool does a good job on the fretboard, getting it nice and smooth. So we're getting the fretboard, everything. And doing one of these necks will kind of wear your arm out. I'm telling you one thing. But man, working with some good MOJO in this thing. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Do a little, blow it off a little bit. Alright. That's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Now we're going to get a little feel down the side here. That feels pretty good too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leveling block here again, and we're going to go right along this little edge right here. Just get any last little bits of fret sprout or anything like that that might be sticking out. Because I want that top side to be nice and smooth, and the bottom side to be nice and smooth. That's probably this edge right along here and this edge right along here. Sorry about that. Probably, you know, that's where your hand slides, that's where it transitions, and that's got to be right. It's got to be right or it's not going to feel good. So we're getting the ends of those frets real nice. So we'll go on there and whoo. So I can still feel that one down there a little bit. Put a little extra pressure right there. Oh yeah, that feels good. We'll do the same thing the other side. Actually, it doesn't hurt to just kind of go right over the edge of that a little bit. That will make it feel real good. You're just kind of getting the top edge of that, top little corner. I don't know if you can see it, but like right there is where you want to kind of get just a little bit with this, with the beam. That makes a big difference. All right, we did that. Let's give it a feel. This will be, you know, you gotta feel it. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice and smooth. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take one of these. We're going to take one of these Allen wrenches here. Or what? Just one of these Allen wrenches. It doesn't really matter which one it is. And we're going to take the edge of this right here, this little raised corner edge, and we're just going to sort of go across the edge of this like that. And this is what you call rolling the edge. We're just kind of rolling it over a little bit. And I don't want to take anything off of there. I just kind of want to smooth that out a little bit. Go right on over. You'll be surprised how much difference this makes. And it's not rolled. See, up at the top it was a little bit rolled all by itself. Down here where it doesn't get played as much. A little bit sharper edge. But we're knocking that down. Okay, we don't have to worry about it too much up here because, believe me, you're never going to feel it up there. All right, then we'll do the top. Yep, the MOJO process takes a while, but it is highly effective. And we're all in it for the end product, ain't we? See this, man, this guitar never had no stuff like this done to it. It's going to be faster, stronger, and more able to play solos in a single bound. Yep, just kind of get that just a little bit. All right. what we're going to do, we're going to take my piece of sandpaper that has the 600 on it right here, and we are just going to sort of go like this with it, just sort of. And then we're going to kind of get this, we're going to get this corner of the fret just a little bit too, just to the edge. So we're just going to kind of smooth that out a little bit around there and get that edge. Yeah, we're just using this sandpaper here that's not, barely got anything left in it. Flip it over. Yeah, there we go. Get a little cut on that. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and do all these. Close your eyes and feel it. And just kind of go, you can feel where it needs it. It needs it right in there. In fact, I think I want to hit that with this again. Get that all cleaned off. Hit that one more time right through there. Oh yeah. Yep, this fret work takes a little while, getting these right, but man, it's sure worth it, because you're not going to do this again. You know, you can do this once, and then guitar's going to have the benefits of this for as long as you own it. See, now I'm going to take this, I'm taking this, and I'm running across there. And I'm just kind of seeing where I'm feeling anything, and I'm not really feeling anything. That feels nice and smooth right across there. And we'll figure this, we'll flip this over and we'll do the same thing over here. Yep. This is the important side over here. So you make sure that this feels nice and smooth. Try to get rid of that little black mark there from the pen. Don't like that. Of course, it's got a little mark. That's a MOJO mark. There we go. Yep, we're getting there. You know, it's grueling, isn't it? I know, everybody's going to be watching this video. It's going to be 17 days long. Maybe I exaggerated. 16 days. Alright. Once again, just kind of going over a little bit here. Make sure the transition is nice and smooth. Yeah, you don't need a whole lot of stuff to do this. You don't need fancy schmancy tools. You know, you don't need to go get the most expensive stuff in the world. You know, it's it's really easy to do. It's really easy just to go out and, you know, do what I did. Watch a few videos. Figure out what you need. There's lots of guys out there that'll show you, hey, I went to Harbor Freight and I got a, you know, little cheapo leveling tool. Ooh, look at that right there. Alright, that's looking real good. And I think I'm going to take a little break here. Just be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. I had to go get some polishing compound. We're going to polish these frets now. We're going to get a nice little polish. Okay. Put a little bit of our polishing compound on the rag here, and I got this little thingy here. Helps protect the frets. And we're just going to kind of go over top of this like that. Okay, we'll go to the next one. This is going to make them super, super smooth. So when you go to bend, it's going to slide real nice and easy. It's like glass. I just keep putting a little bit on there. Don't need a whole lot. And you notice I'm not really worried too much about the fretboard and stuff like that. We're going to clean that up real nice, and this stuff isn't going to bother it, not one bit. So we haven't conditioned it or anything yet. Oh, right back. Well, it'd be nice if I learned to turn my phone off before I started filming videos, right? Alrighty, back to it. Back to the important stuff. Alright, we're going to keep going on these frets right here. We're going to get these nice and polished. And you know, it's just these little tiny details here, just this little stuff right here that makes you know, all the little details put together is what makes it come, you know, makes the whole thing work. And you know, I told you that in the end, when we're all done with this guitar is going to kind of have a hum to it. It's going to have a harmonize. You know, it's going to be just, it's going to be ringing. It's going to be, man, it's going to be just kind of come alive, I guess you could say, from all the little tiny details that we do to it. And you can see how much I'm taking off there, how much is coming off those frets. It's nice and black. Okay, and that's what you want to see. The frets are made of like a nickel, and you know, it's going to turn a little bit black when you rub it like that, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see a little black on your rag. It means it's cutting and it's doing good. Yep. Ooh, I put the cap on that rubbing alcohol. That's another thing. Speaking of alcohol, come January 1st, 2021, I will have not had a drink for 10 years. Yay for me. You know? Man, when you know, a man's got to get his life in order. You can't keep going, you know, messing up. Sometimes the party is over. Can't party your whole life away. I tried to, but I found I couldn't. And we'll get down to the bottom of these. And it's starting to shine. MOJO shine. Hey. Still in the shot? So busy looking at this, I'm not looking at the camera to see what my shot's looking like. Just a little bit more down. We're just going to go over them one last time to just give them one last little rubbing. Can't hurt, right? Oh, he polished those too much. They're too shiny. Yeah, right. Yep. The MOJO process. It's not fast, but effective. I said that, didn't I? Alright, got that all done. Alright, try to find just a little bit more rubbing alcohol. Alright, and we'll go over this and wipe it down real good. Get all that stuff off there. Okay, now that I've got that like that, now I'm going to take my brush, my little nylon toothbrush. It's not anything that's real scrapey or scratchy. I'm just going to kind of go over it real easy, especially right up against these frets, because I don't want to have them, you know, any rubbing compound or anything stuck down in that little edge right there. Because believe me, you can get a lot of junk built up right down in there. So we're going to make sure that we don't do that. As soon as we get done doing this, it's going to be time to condition the fretboard. Well, no, not yet. I got to go over it one more time. We got to give it the old Scotch-Brite pad treatment. Because we've done all this work on the front, we haven't done anything on the back of the neck. I can't forget the back. So all the good stuff happens. Well, the good stuff happens in the front, but good stuff happens in the back too. Alright. That's looking good, looking good. Alright. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get my Scotch-Brite pad. And I don't have the newest Scotch-Brite pad, but I kind of want an older one. I didn't want a fresh brand new one. And what we're going to do is we're just going to set this in. I'm going to set this in my hand like this. And I'm just going to kind of cradle this and just sort of go back and forth like this. And what this is doing is smoothing up that back. And this is like this. This is the thing. This is what kind of makes it feel good in your hand. You just keep on going like that. And then I'll turn it this way. Because once again, I'm cutting the other way. So I'm going to cut the other way. And I get a little bit of back action like that. And then you feel it with your hand. Do you feel anything that doesn't feel right? Does everything feel good? Or do you feel like you got to get in there just a little bit? So we get all the way down on the end down here too. All the way down on the end. Now, this is one of the most important parts of it. We're going to kind of pick this up right here. We're just going to go like this. There. You can feel that it's so smooth. We're just going to take that dirty rag. Nope, I don't think so. We're going to get a brand new clean rag right here. Hey, clean rag. Alright, I'm going to take that. We're going to wipe this whole thing right down. Now, one last time here, we're going to take this and we're going to wipe it down. I'm going to take my clean rag, a little alcohol on it, right there, and we're just going to wipe everything down one more time. Front, back, sides, and everything. And I'm going to go this way over this fretboard. All right. Now here's one of the most important steps. I'm going to take my magnifying glass and I want to get right down there, take a good look at it. I'm going to clean my magnifying glass off with that alcohol spot so it's nice and clean. I'm going to get right down here, take a look at the ends. take a look at what I got going on. And it is looking so good. Everything looks smooth. You can see some of the little lines in the thing, but that's going to make it smooth. Tell you what, let's zoom in on this. Oh, and go back out a little wider. There we go. You can see just how nice that looks. Those frets are polished up real nice. Just a little bit more. There we go. See that edges rolled over real nice. Like that right there. Those frets are nice and shiny polished. Alrighty. And we're going to bring this back down here. Now the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to give this the treatment. Got to oil up this fretboard. We got to get some moisture in there. It's dry as a bone. So what I have here is I have some good old, you're going to think it's funny, coconut oil. Coconut oil is some of the best stuff in the world, and it does so many different things, so many different ways. And the thing that I like about coconut oil is that it's solid at room temperature. It's not really solid, but it's, you know, not in a liquid state. But as soon as it hits your hand or any kind of, you know, it's anything that's a little bit warmer, it becomes liquid. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of coconut oil. I'm just going to put it on my finger, and we're just going to rub it in. We're going to massage that in there real nice. Just a little bit of coconut oil on the finger. Coconut oil is something that I discovered a few years ago. I just like it because it soaks in. It's not as, it doesn't soak in as much. Let me put it that way. It sort of sits on the surface. And I'm rubbing this in with my fingers because I want to get right up in there and kind of just, you know, I don't know. It's all a feel thing, I guess. And we're going to get the edge a little bit right down there. Okay. And we're also going to just put a little bit on the back there. Just a little. Just to kind of say. We put a little on the back. Okay, now we're going to take our towel. Nice clean towel, nice clean spot. Okay? Wipe that off. Oh, look at that. Yes, sir, that's looking nice. It's looking real nice. Nice and hydrated, I guess you could say. But guess what? We're not done. We're going to do it one more time. Only this time I'm going to put a little bit on the rag. Right there. Get some on that rag. Rub it in real good. It usually takes a couple of applications, you know, depending on how often you do it. But when I get a brand new guitar like that, I mean not a brand new, but I get one that's been hanging in the pawn shop for a while, it's been dried out. And especially, you know, depending on the humidity in the place where you got it. But yeah, you gotta give it some, let it soak up some of that stuff a little bit. But that's the nice thing about the coconut oil is that it don't soak in too much. You get a little bit right there. And just keep rubbing that in. That's right. Alright, now we'll wipe it off. I'm not trying to rub it to death when I'm wiping it off. I kind of want to leave a little bit on there. Just a little bit. I'm going to wipe it down again before we do the setup on it. Just going to kind of leave it like this right here. chance to soak some of that stuff up. And I'm trying to get close to these frets here too, because I don't want to leave puddling or a little bit of too much oil next to the frets, because it will loosen them up. So make sure we get in there with our thumbnail. And I'm sort of giving them a little bit of a polish too, a little bit more polish. That fretboard's nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Alrighty, there you have it. Wipe the back off a little bit. That's a neck. It's been mojified. Nice and slick down the sides here. No problems whatsoever. In fact, we'll flip it over and put it in our playing hand like that. Nice and comfortable. Nice and comfortable. Hand's going to slide down. The back of that feels just effortless. You know, you put the weight of the neck in your hand like that, you know. And you just sort of slide it right along like that. Put your fingers up there. Get a little bit of, man, that's the way you want it. And if it's not the way, if it don't feel good, keep going till it does. You know, back of this neck, well, you can make it any shape you want. Don't get nuts. But yeah, that feels nice and smooth. And it's a little sticky from the oil right now. But we're gonna, once that dries out and everything like that, it'll feel, ooh, that does feel smooth. Alrighty. So, take that, put that over there, put that over there. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take care of this headstock right here. We gotta get this thing all ready to go. Now, I got a little bit of that oil on there, so I'm going to clean this off just a little bit. We're going to clean this headstock part off here just a little bit more. And a little bit of rubbing alcohol, get all that off. Okay. Now we're going to take some painter's tape right here. And we are going to go across here. We're going to tape this headstock off. Bit of tape right across there like that. Across there. And we'll just run it along the side here. What we're going to do is we're going to make this MOJO, we're going to put a little blue finish on this headstock. It'll look real pretty. We're just kind of going around there. One more piece of tape ought to do us. I want to make sure you get it right up to the edge of that top there, right up to the top of the edge. And then we'll just tear off that little piece right there, and we'll use this to make this little transition right here. That's Sam upstairs making macaroni and cheese, I think. Alrighty, we got that all taped off right there. Now I got just a little bit of blue acrylic paint, and we're going to take that and we're going to put a little bit, I'll tell you what, be right back, got to do some water. Alrighty, I'm back. Got myself just a little bit of water, and I'll take this blue paint, I'm just going to put a little bit of this blue paint in that water, right there. That should about do it right there, okay. And let's see, what have I got to stir this up with? We'll take the end of this little paintbrush right here. We'll just stir that up a little bit. I want to just loosen up that paint. I don't want to put straight paint on. I want it to be kind of whitewashed. So we're going to take that, get that mixed up with water. All right. Wipe that off. Then we'll take the other end of this paintbrush. We're just going to start to paint that right on there. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. It's all new to me. We'll give it a good whirl. I sanded this down, so this is down to bare wood now. And we're just going to kind of let this kind of get an even coat of this over the top of it. I think. I don't know. And maybe we'll let it sit on there for a little bit. I don't know. Might take a couple of coats. I think that's going to be the case. It's going to take a couple of coats. So we'll leave that right there. And what I'm going to do is I am going to wipe that off now. I better leave it on there. What I'm going to do, we'll try just a little straight paint. And maybe we'll loosen it up a little bit with the water solution. This is the part of the video where we just sort of wing it, folks. Sometimes you don't know how it's going to turn out. We might have something going on with that. I'm liking that. Getting there. See what we can do with that. Should we wipe it off or should we just leave it? We gotta wipe it off. I think we gotta wipe it off. So we kind of blotch it. It's ugly. We're gonna make it beautiful. It's gotta be fabulous. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a nice little coat of this on here, I think. And I'm gonna leave it. There shall be a fabulous headstock. What this ugliness is. Ooh. I wanted it to have a little bit of a, I don't know, stained look, I guess you could kind of say. So I guess we'll just let that sort of dry a little bit. Put a little bit more right through here. Maybe if I tap it with my brush it'll look better. I don't know. We're in the experimental stages right here. I don't know if that's making any difference or not. Just to cover up the ugly. Well, we'll see how that works out. Maybe if I scuff it down a little bit after it dries. Yeah? It's got kind of a little funky look to it, don't it? I don't know, man. That might be kind of what I'm looking for. Now that I'm looking at it in the camera, how's that look? I don't know. I think I might have something going on there. Let's try to smooth it out a little bit. Let's try to run the brush over it. It's not looking bad. Might have something going on. I think maybe the MOJO's taking effect, huh? You never know. MOJO moves in mysterious ways. Alrighty. So, I think I'm gonna let that dry. You know, just go ahead and go sit here and go like this with it. Woo, woo, woo. It'll dry. Alrighty. So, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break here and we're gonna come back and I will see what that looks after it dries. Alright, we're back. We went ahead and let the paint dry. We took all the tape off, got the edge all nice and clean on the back and everything like that. And now we're ready for the big magic moment, and that is the placing of the logo. There's the new logo that's going to go on it. Hey, hey, hey. All we got to do is stick that in the water. Let that get a little bit of water on top of it. We'll let that set there for just a second. I had these little logos printed up at the local printing shop here called Masterpiece Embroidering here in Burton, Michigan. They did a fabulous job for me. They did some other some other work for me too that's going to be a surprise. I can't tell you about yet. So, you know, got that in store, and we're going to see how this thing is doing right here. Get nice and soaky wokey. Alright, now that we've let that set in the water, we're going to pull that out. We're going to see how that wants to slide off there. Is it sliding off? It sure is. Alright, so we're going to slide that right off there. Place it right about there. One's right in, don't it? There you go. This is going to stand out once we get some clear on this. It'll stand out a little bit better. There you go. The eagle has landed. The branding of the first MOJO chop guitar. And we're going to take this towel here and we're just going to kind of pat some of that water off there. Make sure that sticks down real nice. Yep. That looks pretty good. Just like that. Now we're going to go spray some clear on it. So, that is about the last thing that we have to do. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put one more piece of tape right across here. Take that off one more time. Okay. Okay. And we're going to take this outside and we're going to give it a coat of clear. So I'll tell you what, I will be right back. Okay, we're back. And here she is after a couple of coats of clear. Still a little bit wet, but I think it turned out pretty good. I like the paint job. Just the MOJO sticker didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's on there. It's been MOJO-fied. Yep, sure has. Let's take that piece of tape off there. There we go. I like that. It's going to go nice along with the body. Alrighty, so on the next time you see us, we are going to assemble this guitar, and we're going to string it all up, and we're going to set it up, and we're going to get it playing real nice. And then after that, we are going to present it to you so you can see exactly what's going on. And I got to figure out what's going on with this little spot here. So, guess that's going to do it for us today. So, adios from Mojo Shop Guitar. Baby! Alrighty, folks. Here's the big surprise at the end. Hey, guess what? It's me playing again. Hey, hey, hey. But anyway, this is one of the special Mojo Shop guitars. It's got my initials on it. It's a beautiful little Epiphone 100 Les Paul. Nice little guitar. When I took this out of the case, it was in tune. I didn't have to tune it up. I mean, it was dead on. And this has had the Mojo Shop treatment too. So, you know, that's the kind of thing. I can't even say your guitar's going to do that, but hey, you know, it just might. But tell you what, let's hear what this thing sounds like a little bit here. Got a little cool little Latin beat going. Yeah, we're gonna see what this sounds like. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Thank you for watching Mojo Shop Guitar. Please like and subscribe.